Indiana, 1992. The heavy steel door slams shut behind Mike Tyson with a sound that echoes through concrete corridors. He's no longer the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He's inmate number 922335. And inside these walls, that's all that matters. The Indiana Youth Center sits outside Indianapolis, a medium security facility that houses 1,200 men. Most of them are young, violent, desperate. Many have nothing to lose. And right now they're all watching the most famous boxer in the world try to figure out how to survive in a place where his championship belts mean absolutely nothing. Tyson is 25 years old. 6 months ago, he was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years. The verdict destroyed him. Not just his career, not just his reputation, but something deeper. His sense of who he was. Outside these walls, people feared him. Inside, he's just another body in khaki prison uniform, trying to navigate a world with different rules, different hierarchies, different definitions of power. The first week is the hardest. Tyson keeps to himself, eats alone, avoids eye contact. He's been warned by his lawyer, by prison officials, by everyone who matters. One fight in here extends your sentence. One act of violence adds years to your time. The very thing that made him famous, his ability to destroy men with his fists, is now the one thing he cannot use. But prison doesn't care about your intentions. Prison has its own social structure, its own laws, its own kings. And the king of the Indiana Youth Center is a man everyone calls Big James. James Washington stands 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighs 280 pounds. He's been inside for 15 years, serving life without parole for a crime he committed at 19. Armed robbery that went wrong. A security guard died. James has spent his entire adult life in various prisons, and he's learned how to survive by being the most dangerous man in any room he enters. Big James controls the yard. He controls the cafeteria. He controls the black market economy of cigarettes, contraband, protection. Guards know who he is. They give him space because keeping James happy keeps the prison stable. Cross James, and your life inside becomes very difficult, very quickly. For 2 weeks, James watches Tyson, watches him eat alone, watches him avoid confrontation, watches him try to be invisible. And James doesn't like it, not because he has anything against Tyson personally, but because a celebrity in prison disrupts the natural order. Other inmates whisper about Tyson. They want autographs. They want to say they met him. And that attention, that focus, that energy, it all flows away from James and toward this newcomer who's trying to hide in the corner. Tuesday afternoon, second week of March. The cafeteria is packed. Maybe 300 men eating lunch. The noise is constant. Metal trays clanging. Conversations echoing off concrete walls. Guards watching from elevated positions. Tyson sits at a corner table, alone, eating quietly. Rice, beans, some kind of meat that's hard to identify. Prison food. He's lost weight already. The training regimen that kept him at fighting weight is gone. Now he's just trying to get through each day. Big James stands up from his table in the center of the cafeteria. 4 men sit with him. His crew, the enforcers who make sure his authority is never questioned. When James stands, conversations around him stop. People notice. People pay attention. Because when Big James moves, something is about to happen. He walks across the cafeteria slowly, deliberately. His path is taking him directly toward Tyson's table. Inmates watch. Guards tense up slightly. Everyone can feel the tension building. This is the moment they've been waiting for. The confrontation between the prison's power structure and the celebrity newcomer. James reaches Tyson's table and stops. Tyson looks up, sees this massive man standing over him, and every instinct in his body screams at him to stand, to prepare to defend himself. But he doesn't move, because standing up means escalation, and escalation means violence, and violence means more years in this place. Big James speaks. His voice is deep, calm, commanding, loud enough for nearby tables to hear, but not shouting. Not yet. You're Tyson, right? The boxer. It's not really a question. Everyone knows who Tyson is. Tyson nods once, doesn't speak, doesn't trust his voice right now. James continues. I've been watching you. 2 weeks, you sit here alone. Don't talk to nobody. Act like you're invisible. But you're not invisible. Everyone in here knows who you are. He pauses, lets the words settle. You were somebody out there, champion. Famous. Rich. People paid to watch you fight. But in here, James leans down slightly, his face closer to Tyson's. In here, you're nothing. You're nobody. Just another inmate. Just another number. You understand that. The cafeteria has gone almost silent. 300 men watching this moment unfold. Guards watching too. Hands near their radios, ready to call for backup if this goes wrong. Tyson feels it. The weight of every eye on him. Feels the expectation. Everyone wants to see what he'll do. Will he stand up? Will he challenge James? Will the famous boxer prove he's still dangerous? Or will he back down? Show weakness. Become prey in a place where weakness gets you destroyed. 8 seconds pass. 8 seconds of silence that feel like hours. 8 seconds where Tyson's entire future in this prison hangs in the balance. 8 seconds where he has to make a choice that will define the next 6 years of his life. Then Tyson speaks. His voice is quiet, steady, without challenge or aggression. You're right. James wasn't expecting that. His expression shifts slightly, surprise breaking through his hard exterior. What? Tyson looks directly at James. You're right. I'm nobody in here. Out there, I was champion. In here, I'm just another inmate. Just another number. I'm trying to learn what that means. This is not what James prepared for. Not what anyone expected. The cafeteria remains silent. Everyone trying to process what they just heard. Mike Tyson, the man who destroyed every opponent. The man who terrorized the boxing world. Just admitted he's nobody. James straightens up, studies Tyson's face, looking for deception, for hidden challenge, for some sign that this is an act. But Tyson's expression is genuine. There's no anger there, no resentment, just exhaustion, and something that looks like acceptance. Then Big James does something nobody expects. He pulls out the chair across from Tyson and sits down. His crew, still at their table, watches in confusion. Guards remain alert, but don't move. The entire cafeteria holds its breath. James says, "You really mean that?" Tyson nods. "I do. I had everything out there. Fame, money, power, and I threw it all away. Lost everything that mattered, because I couldn't control myself. Now I'm in here.
Man, you're right.
I'm nobody. And maybe that's what I needed to learn." For the first time in this conversation, James's hard exterior cracks slightly. Something that might be respect shows in his eyes. "You know why I run this place?" he asks. Tyson shakes his head. "Because I learned early that in prison, respect is everything. You don't have respect, you don't survive. But respect isn't about being the toughest. It's about understanding the rules, understanding your place, and not pretending to be something you're not." James pauses. "I've seen celebrities come through here before. They all try to hold on to who they were outside, try to make their fame protect them. Never works. Prison doesn't care about your past." Tyson listens, really listens. This isn't a lecture. This is teaching. This is someone who survived 15 years in hell, trying to help someone else survive too. James continues. "I was 19 when I came in, had a full scholarship to play basketball at Indiana State. Was good, real good. Could have gone pro. But I made one stupid choice. Needed money. Tried to rob a convenience store with my cousin. Security guard pulled a gun. My cousin panicked. Shot him. Man died. I was just driving the car. But the law doesn't care. Felony murder rule. Life without parole." The pain in James's voice is real. This isn't a hardened criminal bragging about his crime. This is a man who spent 15 years living with the consequences of one terrible decision. "I could have been you," James says quietly. "You could have been me. Just different circumstances, different choices. But we both ended up losing everything that mattered." Tyson feels something break inside him. Not in a bad way. More like a wall coming down. For 2 weeks, he's been carrying his anger, his resentment, his denial, and in this moment, sitting across from this man who should be his enemy,
He realizes he's not alone in his pain. How do you survive it? Tyson asks. How do you live with knowing your whole life is gone? James looks at him with something that might be kindness. You stop living in the past. You stop being who you were. You figure out who you need to become to survive today. And you find purpose in small things, helping younger inmates stay out of trouble, reading, learning, growing. You can't change what happened, but you can change who you are. Right now, they talk for 20 minutes. The cafeteria slowly returns to its normal noise level, but people keep glancing over at this impossible scene. Big James and Mike Tyson, sitting together, talking like old friends. When lunch ends, James stands. You sit with us tomorrow, he says. Not a question, not a threat, just a statement. You're under my protection now. Anyone messes with you, they mess with me, but you follow the rules. You respect the structure, and you remember in here, you're nobody special. You're just James's friend. That's all. Tyson nods, genuinely grateful. Thank you. James almost smiles. Don't thank me yet. I'm gonna make you earn it. You're gonna help me with the young ones. Teach them discipline. Not boxing. Life discipline. How to control their anger. How to make better choices. You're gonna help me keep this place stable. That's the price of my protection. That afternoon becomes the foundation of an unlikely friendship. Over the following months, Tyson and James meet regularly. They talk about life, about mistakes, about redemption. James introduces Tyson to philosophy books. They read together, discuss ideas, challenge each other's thinking. Tyson starts helping with younger inmates, not teaching them to fight, teaching them to think, teaching them that strength isn't about violence. It's about control, about choosing a different path. And these young men listen, because the message is coming from someone who understands their rage, their feeling of having nothing to lose. 3 years later, when Tyson is released, he stands in the prison yard, one last time with James. I owe you my life, Tyson said. You saved me in here. James shakes his head. You saved yourself. You just needed someone to show you it was possible. Now you go out there and you be better than you were. You honor the second chance you're getting. And you don't forget about the men still in here, who'll never get that chance. Tyson never forgot. After his release, he advocated for prison reform. He wrote letters to James regularly. He fought for James's parole twice, both times denied. When James died in prison in 2004, Tyson attended a private memorial service for the family. In interviews years later, Tyson talked about that moment in the cafeteria. Big James taught me what I needed to learn. That being the baddest man on the planet meant nothing if I couldn't control the worst parts of myself. He showed me that real strength is choosing humility when everyone expects you to choose violence. That 8 seconds when I admitted I was nobody, that was the moment I started becoming someone. The lesson remains. We all face moments where our pride demands one choice, and our wisdom suggests another, where admitting weakness feels impossible, but it's the only path to real strength. Mike Tyson walked into that cafeteria as a fallen. He walked out as a student, learning from a master he never expected to meet. Sometimes the person who teaches us the most important lesson is the one we'd never choose as a teacher. Sometimes the moment that saves our life is the moment we admit we don't have all the answers. And sometimes strength looks nothing like we thought it would. It looks like a former champion saying 3 words that change everything. You're right, I'm nobody. That's when Mike Tyson started becoming somebody real.